weekly call every Friday morning. Kathy, we know that the secret to success in anything in life is consistency and persistency. So for all of you who are joining today, you're being consistent and persistent in your intelligent wellness business. Today, Kathy, we're excited to talk about this because
so excited.
Today's topic is an interesting one. We have been talking for the last few weeks around the power of intelligent wellness and Prism IO and this unique biomarking capability of nutritional health score. We're the only company on the planet to do it. We've been talking about the size of the intelligent wellness, or at least the wellness movement, over $6.8 trillion. With a lot of that coming through supplementation, 500 billion in supplementation that nobody really knows whether it works because it's hard to measure.
Right. But we're positioned so perfectly for this. We are the number one beauty and wellness device company, right? So we're already a leader in this. We have 20 years of data on all of this.
That's right.
You know, we're groundbreaking, but at the same time, we have this foundation. Which is an interesting dichotomy to me.
That's right.
And I love where we are.
We are in
because Prism is so groundbreaking.
That's right. We're in this truly right space, right time. By the way, if you do have a question as we're going throughout this, we'll have our team throw these up on the board here. So feel free to drop any questions that you have as you go, and we'll try to get to as many as we can throughout this. So use the Q&A. Drop it in the chat, and we'll port those over and try to work those in. So, Kathy, I was diving deep into this topic of intelligent wellness, which is holistic wellness, including beauty, that we're going to dive deeper into. And so this week, a couple of things that popped out to me in my research this week. Number one was, why is this intelligent wellness revolution so big right now? Like, what is going on? And there was a study that came out a couple of years back around Dr. Joe Chang, who was on the podcast last week, I think it was, talking about the health span gap between longevity and health span. So there was a JAMA study that was done around all World Health Organization countries that says that the gap between lifespan, so number of years lived, and health span, so the quality of the years lived, has grown to more than 9.6 years, which is up significantly. Now, the reason for that is people are living longer, but our lifestyle is getting worse, right?
So it's health span and lifespan, you want them together, not further apart, right? Because
correct.
You want your years that you're living to be good years, to be healthy years, right? To be physically and mentally. So that's when we say that gap is growing, that's not a good thing. That's the opposite of what we want. We want longer health span to match our longer lifespan.
I mean, I look at it like a caterpillar. You know how a caterpillar moves? And the caterpillar first shoots out the front and then the back catches up, shoots out the front. That's kind of what's happened in society. We're living longer, but the quality of life needs to catch up. And so when we talk about why this wellness revolution is growing so popularly, it's because people want to live longer and live better quality of lives. But as we live longer, we're kind of just societally living longer, but it's the quality of life.
And I think all of us know somebody who has somebody who sits in both areas, whether it's a grandparent, an aunt or an uncle. But I think Joe talked about his mom versus his dad.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, we all have someone in our lives who, if we've seen their health span is up with their lifespan, or their lifespan and health span don't match, and it's heartbreaking when you watch.
You just don't see it. And so this is a big thing. Health span is huge, but complementary to that is, if you're going to live longer and you're going to be healthier, you want to look better as well.
Beauty span.
Whoa.
Beauty span.
Is this a new...
my thing.
Okay.
Are you TMing? If I look good.
You're TMing beauty span. Is that what's going on right here?
Right.
So you're going to write a book like Dr. Joe Chang on health span?
Maybe.
Okay, so what's beauty span?
No, I mean, I joke a little bit.
But what's the idea?
At the same time, the idea for me with beauty span is I want to look good as I feel good and live long. Like, that's important to me. Call me vain, but no, like, that is important to me. And it's not just wrinkles. I'm all about aging well.
Yeah.
But I do. I want to look and feel good as I live long.
We talk about look, feel, live better.
And if you look at where the beauty industry is moving, we all know that.
Yeah.
Whether it's plastic surgery or, different things. For me, I'm a very natural person anyway. So it's how does my wellness and nutrition also lead into my beauty?
Yeah.
Like that's important to me.
Okay. So I asked ChatGPT, I said, so what are the biggest trends taking place right now in the wellness industry? And it gave me 4. Number 1, metabolic health. Number 2, sleep. Number 3, women's health. And number 4, beauty. So these are the biggest wellness.
Beauty span fits into wellness.
These are the biggest wellness trends. So today we want to dive into this. And I think it's particularly important because for the last 4 or 5 years in the US market in North America, there's been a massive beauty focus, massive beauty push. And now we're talking about wellness and we're talking about the power and the benefits of being healthy inside. We want to make sure, though, that the message is very clear that these two things, internal and intelligent beauty and wellness, are highly correlated. They're highly impactful to each other.
All 4 of those things we know are also sleep. Completely ties to how you feel, how you look. What is the first thing you say to somebody if they didn't get enough sleep? You look tired.
You look tired. Yeah. I get that all the time from you. I get that all the time from you.
But I mean, that is like, you look tired. You look like you don't feel well. If you think about that, that shows that our wellness shows on the outside as well.
Yeah.
It's not just truly like inside. Even metabolic health is, I mean, all 4 of these to me are so important when I look at what we are studying, with our clinical studies, with our products, with what the Prism is informing us about individually. They all tie for me to these 4 key things.
Okay, so I always go back to what gets measured gets improved, right? Absolutely. This is our philosophy.
Absolutely.
So I started digging into what are prevailing research studies that have been conducted on human beings around the value of carotenoids in the skin. And it was interesting. One of the things Chat came back with is carotenoids stored in the skin produce a healthier glow.
Right.
Now, I think one thing that people don't understand is carotenoids are pigments.
Yes, right. It's the color of your foods, right?
The color of your foods, and that translates to what is stored in your skins. Carotenoids that are stored in your skin naturally create pigmentation, evolution. And so when we talk about healthy glow that you were just talking about, or what Chat just described, the point is these carotenoids have a direct benefit or relationship to how our skin looks.
Yes.
And there's some really specific ingredients that we're going to talk about in a moment. The other thing that I think is really interesting is UV protection. So the indirect or the correlative value of UV protection that comes through antioxidants, carotenoids in the skin as well. So there's multiple benefits here on beauty.
Your skin is our largest organ on our entire body, right? So carotenoids working and protecting our skin is so important, whether it's from blue light, from radiation, not radiation, UV rays.
Radiation, that's pretty extreme. UV, no, that's true, isn't it? UV radiation. But it just sounded pretty extreme.
I went further ahead before I defined the word. I was thinking faster than I was speaking. So, but it comes from multiple ways. It can come from natural sources like UV rays. It can come from blue light. But our skin is exposed all the time. And carotenoids create that barrier to protect our skin from what it's being exposed to. So you take it inside, it's helping you on the outside to protect the inside. It's a little bit of an exception.
So there's a lot of work that the company's doing right now, studies that are coming out. I think in the next couple of weeks, we'll probably have Melanie Riggs on, who's conducted a study. Dr. Helen Nags conducted recent studies published around the value and benefits of UV protection in the skin, carotenoids, and overall beauty. So we're going to go deep into this thing. One of the things I just wanted to mention, so I've been working hard, and you all, those of you who have your own prisms, I always get the question, Ryan, why are you scanning every single day? Does your score really change that much in the skin every single day? The answer is my score changes every single day quite a bit. But we all know the absorption of carotenoids takes days and weeks to accomplish that. We're doing more research on that, by the way, and we'll be talking more about that.
I'm sure you don't change from the top half to the bottom half,
no.
Right? Most people sit in, in one of the halves.
That's right.
But our actions can absolutely impact where we sit in those. You're not going to one day pop to red and then be in blue the next day. That's just not how carotenoids, like you said, work. But I go from green to upper blue regularly, depending on my life,
daily habits. Daily habits. So that's my point, is daily habits about scanning every day and kind of tracking what's going on. Because for me, it's interesting. I've had an extremely stressful last 3 weeks. We had board meetings, we had earnings releases, we had all this work. So I'm not sleeping well. At the same time, we've had amazing 60-degree weather. So I'm up in the mountains in the sun for 5-6 hours on Saturdays and Sundays, and I'm living that. So I'm getting extra UV. I'm not sleeping well. I've high stress. I'm not eating as well as I should. And by the way, I forgot to take my Life Pack Nano. I was only taking Youth. And sure enough, my score drops 130 points. And I've been working to dig my way out now for the last week as life is starting to calm back down, because life goes through these ups and downs. But I'm just re-emphasizing, and I hope everyone on the call is really thinking through this. I'm re-emphasizing the value of daily tracking, because what gets measured gets improved. And I think it's just important that we just continue to think through that. And that was a bit of an aside against the beauty side, but I wanted to connect to UV, to diet, to sleep, all those things. You look tired, that you keep telling me every day.
Guys, I don't tell him he looks tired every day.
It matters.
And
we should be tracking.
The thing I love about tracking every day or a few times a week or minimum weekly, which is why everyone needs one of these in their home, is behavioral changes. Because what is it doing for you when you track every day? You're saying, I need to sleep better. I need to wear sunscreen when I'm out enjoying the mountains in the snow. I need to do these things. It changes our behavior so that we're doing the right things to increase. You're like, I got to increase my score. And it's not, you can't will yourself there. You have to do lifestyle changes. And that's one of the things I love, is just straight up habit and behavioral changes that come from tracking and measuring.
Tracking and measuring, and then and again goes beyond supplementation, right? So one of the things I've been trying to do since I'm trying to recover my score is I'm eating tomatoes every day.
Excellent.
in my tossed salad. So lycopene, as we all know, it's a heavy carotenoid, deep red color.
You can even get it from salsa, you guys. It doesn't have to just be straight fresh tomatoes.
That's a good point. Deep red, but that's the point. So now I'm eating lycopene through tomatoes every day. I'm eating more. I try to at least do salads 3 times a week on the leafy greens. So
dark leafy greens.
Dark leafy greens. So it just spinach is better than and kale.
And then iceberg.
So it's all of these things that matter most, right, to us. So
do we want to answer?
Let's go.
3 questions.
Were there any?
Women's health is huge right now. Absolutely, we are looking at this. You're going to see something in the US at minimum by the end of the year. We have women's products, but we're looking at those. Skin score, more to come on that. I don't know that we have anything specific. I mean, it is measuring your skin.
I just say, well, this absolutely. I mean, the nutritional health score technically is a wellness score, and it includes your skin. So I think that's important to say. If you're looking for a skin score, the nutritional health score is a skin score. but it's more than that because it's measuring carotenoids in the skin. So it's a health score that includes your skin. So I think that's important.
Yeah. And I think that this question about traveling impacting a score, it's like you said, you've had a very stressful, life right now. I'm a week away from running a marathon, so my exercise has been more extreme than regular, and I've seen that impact my score. Things like traveling, high stress, extreme things, yes, those can absolutely impact.
Where are you doing the marathon?
Score. Tokyo.
You're doing the Tokyo Marathon in March?
Yeah, March 1st.
Oh, geez. Yeah, you better get out of here.
Left hand and right hand, it's scanning different.
I've noticed it.
You have, but I've noticed some of that is your dominant hand. I know when I got my ring, they said wear it on your it's the way your blood flows. It's dominance versus non-dominant hands. So I think that our advice from the company is utilize the same hand, the same finger, the same kind of pressure all the time to have the best reading. Yeah. Don't switch between your two hands, but choose which hand. Yeah. And then as you're measuring regularly, always use that same finger and that same hand is our advice from the company for the best results on your Prism.
Yeah, one of our engineers here explained it to me best. He said, Ryan, Prism is a precision device. So just like any other biomarker or biometric device, like a watch, like an intelligent ring, like a Whoop band, if you have any of those, that consistency is absolutely critical. And so that's why you should always wear your watch on one hand, and you shouldn't be switching it around. You should be wearing a ring on one finger.
It's the same finger.
The same finger. And to your point, Kathy, dominant versus indominant has different on blood flow and utilization. And so it is important to be consistent, like any other biomarker. But I absolutely do notice a difference between my left and right just because I like to play with it. The interesting thing is they're both very consistent. If I'm scanning on my left, it's very consistent. If I scan on my right, it's very consistent. But there is quite a variance between the two for me.
I know we have to get somewhere, but I just want to really fast say something about that. You don't think like I'm healthier or unhealthier by this, but it's not that one score is better than the other, but that's why it's so important to always utilize the same one.
Consistency.
Because your score is your score. Your color is your color. It's not, we want everybody on that top half. Yeah. We want everybody in the green, blue, purple, because then you're having a healthier life, right? But it's not like, you don't switch to your right hand just because it's 30 higher and you're like, I'm healthier now.
Yeah, that's right.
That's not reality, you guys. Find how you're going to scan and then live your life. And Tanner gave some advice. Make sure you have some healthy fats in that salad so that you're absorbing all of those carotenoids properly.
I'm glad.
In order to absorb, we need a little bit of fat for our digestive system to work.
And by the way, I would say, I know we're going down some tangents here, but I would say, and we do have to move on because we have a special guest here in a little bit. But just two last points on the point about absorption. I scan more people. I've talked about this on this. I scan investors, I scan analysts, I scan family members, I scan friends, I scan my race team, I scan. Without fail, I find two things happening. One, they either take supplements or they don't. And if they take supplements, they're typically more conscious of what they eat.
Right.
Versus if they don't take supplements, they typically aren't also conscious of their diet. So that's number one. Number two, if they take supplements and their scores are low, it typically comes down to they're not taking an omega or they don't have the right fats, whether it's through eggs, whether it's through olive oil, whether it's
some
through
nuts, a couple almonds with it,
Correct. And so that absorption thing. So we'll do a whole live cast on absorption because I think this is so critical. And I just wanted to reflect back on the women's health conversation here because I was asking Chad about that. So turns out on average, women take supplements 10% higher. So 45 to 50% of men take supplements, 55 to 60% of women take supplements. When we talk about is Nu Skin going into women's health, guys, we're already in women's health.
Absolutely.
Every single product we have, from LifePak Nano to LifePak the Youth to Beauty Focus Collagen Plus to True Face on UV protection, is all women's health. So a lot of this is how do we position it from a business point of view? We need to talk about this. We are perfectly suited to dominate the women's health market because we have all of these amazing products. We're in women's health, we're in men's health, we're in Gen Z health, we're in Gen X health, we're in silver generation health. All of our products are built to optimize across all demographics that we're talking about.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Let's get into a few things we wanted to talk about, Kathy, and I want you just to take over on this beauty and beauty span conversation. So let's go into that.
This before Ryan takes it. No, I mean, one of the things that I really wanted to talk about, I don't have a favorite product because I take like you said, with women's health, I take so many of these products. But one of the products that is so interesting to me with wellness, beauty, and the Prism is our Collagen Beauty Focus. Collagen Plus. Okay, guys, it has 3 specific products in it. Now, collagen in the US is our #1 unit sales. We know how to sell collagen.
Number one
unit
sales is collagen.
In the United States is our collagen family, the 3.
And by the way, collagen. Latin America does really well with it.
Latin America
Europe does well with it.
I mean,
several of our Asian markets.
Yes.
But #1.
But I haven't looked at their numbers in the last 6 months on unit sales. Yeah. But I looked this up the other day because I'm so interested in how this fits into our Prism IO story. Now, I take Beauty Focus Collagen so that my skin looks better. It has specific peptides for skin. We don't do the type 2 that is joints. Ours is peptides for the skin. Okay, so it is very specific collagen. But there's 2 other ingredients that I don't think we talk about very often that are in ours. Ceramides, which are hydration. Everybody knows that a wrinkle looks better or looks less like a wrinkle if your skin is hydrated. It's why we put so much hydration on our skin from the outside. Ceramides hydrate your skin from the inside. Okay. So now your collagen and your skin looks better. But the 3rd ingredient comes from marigolds. I don't know how many of us are out there eating these beautiful flowers. They're a dark yellow, like orange flower.
Okay.
Marigolds. Lutein. Lutein is found in marigolds. Lutein is a very strong carotenoid. Now, it's not in there so that the product is Prism certified. It's in there because, like we talked about earlier, you're protecting your skin from the outside. So now your collagen has better ability to work. The ceramides are protected. I love this about how we formulate our products. We don't just throw carotenoids into things so that it's Prism certified. That lutein has such a specific purpose in our skin health and in our collagen. So the beauty of it, and then the protection of it, and then we can prove that it's being absorbed through the Prism. Right? So it's this whole easy story. So those of you who aren't sure how Prism is going to fit into your story, if you're selling collagen, and I know a lot of you are selling collagen, how do you know that your collagen is working? By your Prism score increasing. Because it has lutein in it to protect the skin barrier.
So again, I think about this from a practical lens. I can go out and eat tomatoes to get my lutein.
I still should.
The lycopene, all of that. I'm not going to go out and eat marigolds. I haven't yet in my life, and I'm 52. So I think your point of listen, these are formulated products, and the only way you're going to get this is probably through marigold extract or whatever.
You can't get lutein through like dark leafy green.
Sure.
Right. But marigolds is probably stronger. And that's probably why we chose it.
So that's interesting.
You can get it. Yeah. Which I love.
But now diving into your point about Collagen Plus. So I was in a Latin America review yesterday, and we were talking with Don Lovelace about what's going on down there. And for sure, they're crushing it with this Beauty Focus Collagen Plus. And it reminded me, for everyone on this call that's in the US or North America, you all know that this product, when it came about a few years ago, it took the market by storm. I mean, it went from literally zero to hero. It became the #1 unit sales. I think it took all of about 60 days for it to become the #1 unit selling product. It was the #1 subscription product from what I recall at the time.
Yes.
I think about this point of connecting beauty into this and how simple the story was at that time, pre-Prism,
Right.
Pre-measurement, it was simply just, I feel like my skin is better, whatever. Now with the ability to measure that, I feel like there's a whole resurgence of an opportunity here of
Absolutely.
utilizing the carotenoid-rich Beauty Focus Collagen Plus, beauty from the inside out, the ceramides, everything you're talking about, to kind of regenerate momentum around. It's a great product. It's a great subscription product. And by the way, it's an easy way in. Women's health, we were just talking about this, women's health, I take Beauty Focus Collagen Plus as well, which is why I'm more beautiful today than I was 2 years ago. But I think this is a really important part. And I think for everyone on this call, it's really important too, to think about how could we apply, or how can we apply Beauty Focus Collagen Plus and that subscription model to Prism IO. Right. Now you can measure the difference.
It is such an easy fit together. You know, you don't need to change. For those of us who are out there, those of you who are selling these products, again, top selling product, now you have an easy way to learn, understand, and talk about carotenoids, because it's hard. Learning nutrition is not like an overnight thing, but you can understand carotenoids, you can talk about Prism, and then that leads you into even more wellness. It's this bridge of beauty and wellness.
That's the key. It's the bridge. Kathy, look.
I call it a rainbow, but yeah, it's a bridge.
Skin health.
It's a bridge.
We got brain health, cardio, immune, gut. Yeah. This is the thing. Prism, the value of Prism is, that's the thing, right? Is it applies to all of these dimensions of health. And this is why sometimes I get the question of, why are we focused so much only on Prism? And I'm like, no. Prism is like the center.
It brings it all together.
All of these things.
And all of our wellness are brought together here. Yeah. And if there's one thing that in our 40 plus years, I don't know if we've done beauty and wellness for 40 years, but I'm going to say at least 30 something of those years.
With IDN.
We have been beauty and wellness, and Prism is
unite them both.
Beautiful piece that unites them. Yeah.
So I hope what you take away from this, and we're going to pause for a couple of questions that came out before we introduce the guest. Special guest, by the way. I'm excited about introducing a special guest. But I think what I hope the big takeaway is, you guys, this device, and it's not just figurative. This is an intelligent beauty and wellness device. The fact that you measure this on your skin, literally skin health, is a central part of that. Additionally, collagen or excuse me, a carotenoid absorption through the inside out is a critical part. So we truly are, when we talk about Prism, this is not only a wellness device. This is an intelligent beauty and wellness device. Yeah. You're going to hear a whole lot more of this at our global live event in Japan, but we wanted to click on it now because Collagen Plus, and by the way, there's a great study between collagen and LumaSpa IO that we're not even going to get into today, that reinforces how all this works together. But let's stop for questions here, because there are a couple of things, and a couple on the chat board that I'm seeing here. Number one, we haven't talked about Meta, but you guys, absolutely, Meta is a phenomenal women's health product. It's a phenomenal men's health product as well. But Meta absolutely is a positive. So I love that comment. Couple of questions here. You want to take a couple of those, or just?
Yeah, well, I think the one that I love the most, a few of these, flavor-free collagen in the US, to be determined. We have 3 flavors already.
Terrible.
It's actually it's great because it's flavor-free, so you can add it to any drink you have. But we have it in Canada, we have it in Latin America. Okay. But I already have 3 options in the US.
I will reserve my opinion.
You should. And Jungamals is coming right back, and then look for something at the end of the year that we are going to even increase that more with our amazing R&D team. But the one I want to talk about is stress aging you, and what do we recommend for stress? And I think, this is Kathy's opinion, what is causing your stress? And then look at mind, look at, like, we have these different products. If your stress is coming from a lack of sleep or anxiety or different things, look at our entire portfolio, because there's not one thing that helps fix stress. Yeah. Right. For you, fixing your stress is getting out in the hills and working it out. For me, it's running on the trails and streets as well. That's how I deal with my stress. But then how am I recovering? How am I doing these things? So stress ages you 100%. Stress is going to take your score down. We've talked about this. But I think looking individually at what you have, and then look at our catalog of 1 million products. We have so many. That wasn't a claim. We don't have 1 million products, but we have so many products. So what is it that can help yours? And I do think looking at the mind line is an amazing first step to understanding what is causing your, your brain health stress.
Well,
and dealing with that head on, and that will help your Prism score.
That's a great point. And just again, as a reminder to everyone, I think we are on version 1.4 of the app. I want to stress this every call that we have. Remember, this product with every sprint cycle, so this is every 2 to 3 weeks, we're sprinting a new release. So just like your iPhone, your iOS system, you're on 23.6 or 23.7 now. We're only on 1.4 of the app update. Every time we improve this, more insights are coming with that. I am so excited. 1.5 is coming out here in the next week or two with new features and functions. And so when you talk about how do we learn about what are the other products that work, go into the section on Learn and go into your what I call the health, your health clover, and just spend a little bit of time there. But you're going to see that continue to build out for you and for your customers on fitness, those 4 domains: diet, fitness, lifestyle, and supplementation. We have products that apply to all 4 of those domains of health. That part of the app is just going to continue to get better and better and more insightful for you and for your customers. So make sure to use the app.
Now I want to answer one other thing. I see a couple things in the chat about
before we get to our special guest.
Before we get to our special guest, can we get Meta certified? Can we get TRME certified? You guys, the Prism is measuring something specific, carotenoid levels. So if there is not a carotenoid in one of our products, it won't be Prism certified. But we are doing a lot more clinicals and studies on indirect products and how those impact. So I'm not saying never. But we can't just say, oh, let's make Meta certified, because Meta is such a strong product with certain antioxidants, the blues and the bilberry and the black rice, but not the deep reds, the greens, the ones that are carotenoids. So we're not going to just throw carotenoids in products to make it Prism certified, but not every product that we have, no matter how amazing it is, will be a direct carotenoid Prism certified. So we're looking at that indirect and how that works. But I think it's important for everyone to understand what it is measuring, and that we don't want every product to just have a carotenoid in it to be measurable. We want our products formulated for what their purpose is. And Meta couldn't be formulated more perfectly, but that doesn't mean that it is scanner certified.
No, and the reason I mentioned the clover, when we talk about the 4 domains of health that impact your nutritional health score: diet, fitness, lifestyle, and supplementation. So when you take a product like Meta, metabolic health, it has an indirect benefit, or what we call a correlative effect, because there are studies around BMI impacting Prism scores. And so in any case, that to me, that's the key point of there are products that sit that, and there are those that are Prism certified, to your point, that have a direct, and then there are those that have indirect benefits. And so we just have to be clear on that. But let's get to our guest.
Let's do. I'm excited for our.
Do you want to introduce her, or do you want me to? No, you
introduce her.
Okay, so I'm going to introduce Tori, and I'm going to say a couple of things, and then you get into this. So I'm excited to have Tori Armstrong on our call here. Tori is amazing. One of our leaders. She's come into the business in the last 5 years. Tori is one of these bright, vibrant people.
She's amazing.
And just someone who I just am inspired by when I see her posts on social media. I see what she's doing, and then I hear these stories about how she's taking Prism and she's getting out there and lighting it up. Now, I want to tell you, one of the things that I'm most impressed with Tori is I had a meeting with Tori at the end of this last summer. And I'm not going to go into detail because I think it was a very personal meeting with her, and talking about challenges and struggles in the business, and how do we overcome those, and how do we just stay committed and stay determined, and even in some cases start over, restart the business. I actually find in my own life there are times when I just have to physically and mentally restart. just restart, a whole new approach, a whole new way, a whole new, just taking on something new. Tori, as far as I understand, went out and got a coach.
Yes.
She got someone to help her retool her own self and her own skills on taking kind of a new, fresh start at the business, and is having a lot of fun now with it. So is there anything else before we bring her on?
But I was just going to say, like, kind of that same thing where it's like, she looked at what she wanted, found someone to help her get there, really set these goals. And I love watching Tori just like own it and just drive it with everything. Cool. So let's bring her on so she can tell us everything about why she did this and the fun and success she's having.
So Tori, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you so much. And it's so funny that you bring that up, Ryan, because that meeting actually was a very pivotal moment in my journey. And that was kind of the point of, okay, how bad do I want this? What am I willing to do? And can I have a restart? And that was a restart moment for me, for sure.
I mean, Tori, walk us through. So what we want to get to on this is the energy and the excitement and the early signs of success that you're finding with Prism. So I want to get to that, but give us just a little bit for those who are on the call of, you know, kind of what has this transformation for you entailed? Like what are you doing differently that you weren't doing before? Is it mental? Is it physical? Is it time bound? Like, what are you doing?
I do believe everything comes down to mindset. Our thoughts are so powerful. And in the beginning, I couldn't understand. It felt so complicated. It felt like so much. I couldn't simplify it to run. And so I was so focused on the or. And when I like crossed out the or and I was like, and everything, a prism leads to this, it leads to this. And I love to talk to people. I love to connect to people. And I am so passionate about Prism right now because we're in network marketing. We have to talk to people. I found myself getting stuck into a routine of being in my office. I was comfortable. I was on Zooms. I wasn't out talking to people. And so it was a reality check of, wait a second, the business is talking to people. Why am I not connecting? Why am I not being present? And so this has been just a shift within me of commitment to meeting more people, to talking to more people, to being present and being in conversation instead of my head down on a phone constantly. And it's been an experience of, I mean, when you were talking earlier about a caterpillar and the butterfly, it just felt like I was opening up. And I thrive when I talk to people. So the energy is definitely magnetic. And probably my favorite thing about Prism is it creates this magnetic energy. And if you notice I have purple on, I wear purple almost every single day because I was like, I am going to attract purple in, because I do believe that when you have a story, that's what creates it. So when I was looking at my journey, how I came into this business, I was a dental hygienist. I had a story with the whitening toothpaste. I struggled with sensitivity. I worked with patients that struggled with sensitivity. What made my heart happy was this was a product that people could use that struggled with sensitivity. So it was a solution. Well, with Prism, what happened is I got my story. I thought that I was healthy. I was training for a marathon. I was working out. I was making conscious decisions. I was eating fruits and vegetables. I was not taking supplements. And I thought that I could do it on my own. And so when I scanned in the orange, and that was a reality check, and I'm super stubborn. So I was like, well, I'm just going to up my fruit take. I'm going to get more intake of fruits and vegetables. So I went from bottom orange to top orange. And so again, going back to the story and why I'm so passionate is I thought, okay, I'm upper orange, I'm raising it. That's not where I want to be. I know what I'm capable of and I know what my standards are. I got to get to purple. And so I'm going to do whatever I have to. And so I was like, give me the best of the best, got on youth, got on nano. And a couple months later, my score was in the purple. So going back to having the story, and then I witnessed it happen with my husband, my kids, and that story, I believe, is what has lit a lot of the passion.
Do you feel like, so Tori, so there's this, it's so interesting. I was on the phone with one of our board members yesterday, and we we're just talking about what's so unique about our business model. And I said, you know, from day one, the first thing I ever heard in my employee onboarding 32 years ago was, we must become a product of the products, right? Like this notion of kind of creating, and you're talking about how becoming a product of the product creates your story. I think that's such a central part of the journey. And then the second part that you said that I want to click on and have you talk about is talking to people, right? And I know that sounds like such a basic, like, no duh, like that's the whole point of the business. But I think we all find it in our lives that there are times where when we're not quite sure how to explain something, we're not quite sure what to do, the first thing we want to do is we kind of pull inward. We kind of shut up, shut down. I got to go figure this out. I lock myself in the office. I start to work on it that way. What I find is that by talking to people, the story becomes a lot more clear. Mm-hmm. I mean, Craig Bryson always tells me, Ryan, when we started this company, the way we started the company is I went out on the road every single day. I talked to people. I looked at their face. I looked them in the eye, and I waited for that moment where the story, what I said, lit their eyes up. And then I knew that that was part of my story. And then I would try that again and again and again. And he said, week after week, month after month. And within the first year, my story was dialed in. We knew exactly how to explain Nu Skin because I saw it in people's eyes when their eyes lit up. And so I think there is that balancing. And I'd love for you to maybe talk through like creating your story or your pitch or your like how does it translate from you becoming a product of the product to you then going into here's how I've refined my story and what I'm actually doing now to drive or to build that story and to continue to evolve it.
Yeah. So one of the big things is I'm a doer. And so I did the same thing. I came to my home office, I locked the doors and I was like, I'm not going to leave here until I figure this out. That didn't get me anywhere, except for frustrated with myself in my mindset, starting to doubt everything. And so I actually ended up going on a vacation and I was with my cousin and she's in real estate. And so I actually had to get outside of my environment, outside of my comfort zone. And I was like just watching her and I was observing while I was there. And I was like, you talk to people all day long. Like you're successful because you're always talking to people. And I thought, I'm in network marketing. Why am I not talking to people? Why am I locking myself in a room all day and working from my phone? It's part of it, but like, I need to be out. So that was like a big piece. And so you mentioned earlier that I got a coach. I did get a coach because I was like, I have got to get so uncomfortable that nothing phases me. And that is where I'm going to grow the most. And so he challenged me. He was like, Tori, what's the worst that happens? They say no. Don't come across like you're the scientist. You're not the scientist. And I was so scared, you guys. I couldn't even say the word carotenoid. I was like, I can't even say it. How am I going to talk about it? And so like now just everything flows, but I had to be challenged in a way. What he said was, go ask questions. All I want you to do is ask questions. Literally everything you take in is just data and you put it in your memory bank and see. And the more you practice, the better you're going to get at conversations. And I would just ask questions. And the great thing about Prism, you guys, is this is a tool that when people put their finger on this, what happens is they spill everything out to you. Like they're the ones already admitting everything. So then I just use their words back. Whatever they tell me is what I get into a conversation with because it's almost like their fear starts coming out and as they're spilling it out. So I ask questions and I would watch their eyes. And so even when it came to price, like before we were like really talking about it or announcing it, I would just share with them how much it was and I would watch to see what their eyes would do. And you know what? I noticed not one of them blinked. They were all like, oh, it's like an Apple Watch or an Oura Ring. And I was like, I know exactly. You know 10 people that have an Apple Watch, right? And so that was just all, I guess, validation for me to put in my brain of like, people want this. We are impacting lives and I am going to get this in so many homes and have so many conversations. So to this day, I go out in every conversation, whether it's a business, whether it's a person, anytime I can scan, this thing's coming out. I was just at volleyball this past weekend with my daughter at a tournament, and this is the power of social media awareness. I post a lot about it, and one of the ladies was like, yeah, I always see you posting. She's like, next time I'm at your, like around your house, can you scan me? I pull it out of my pocket. It's like, guess what? It's small enough that it fits in my pocket. I bring it everywhere I go. Not only did I scan her and get into a conversation, I scanned 15 more people, which then led to the entire volleyball team, which then led to a recruiting conversation because they were like, wait a second. So you mean you just scan and then you open that app and you can send a link right from the app? And I was like, yeah, literally this is your business right here. So I don't have to show up and be loud on social media like you because that's not my personality. And I said, I do that because I love to talk. I love to be loud. Like that's like just fun performance. I said, but right here is your business. This is for anybody. Anybody can do this. And so it was fun. Like I never really have most of the people in my business are women. Dads were asking to be scanned. They were asking questions. Used my husband's story. The next day, a dad came to me and said, so Eric told me he used to be in the red. You guys call it dead red? And I said, yeah. And now he's in the green. How did you get him to green? And what did he take? Can you send me the same thing? So the conversations just come natural, and I love it because it feels like I'm helping. I am helping. I'm serving. It's not selling. It's truly, I have a solution for you if you want to talk about it. Now, there were people that I scanned that weren't ready for a solution, but guess what? When you put your finger on this, it gets in your head. You start thinking about it. Even if you don't want a solution right then and there, you go home, you put your head on your pillow the next day, you're like, gosh, why am I? Okay, well, maybe I will make more effort to eat fruits and vegetables. Maybe I will go follow her and watch what she's doing. And that's what it happens is the power of sometimes the connection's right away, sometimes it's not. But the power of social media is you keep showing up and they're watching you. They're watching every move you make. And when the timing feels right for them, they will come in for the solution.
Yeah, it's almost like, I mean, what you're doing, and I agree with you on anyone whom I've scanned, whether they're interested in solving or solutioning or not, the color sticks in their head, the number sticks in their head, and it's just planting seeds, right? It's just planting seeds, and I think that's key. So my question, Tori, and one other question is, so you're now in like heavy activation mode, right? The story's coming together. What are you doing like daily, weekly, monthly? Like what kind of goals are you setting? What kind of self-accountability are you doing for yourself or your team that maybe would benefit folks on the call?
I would say, well, first of all, I'm doing it all. I don't think that there's one path. What I look at is I believe that there's pillars. And so we have this Prism device, and whether you are scanning, leading to a conversation to connect, whether you are doing an assessment leading to the connection, whether you are doing for recruiting, somewhere along the lines, or maybe it's just the connection piece they get on your newsletter. I'm just trying to create a relationship through all of those. And the biggest thing, and I believe I want to share this because I want it to help all of you, is don't focus. I mean, yes, we want results. Trust me, I get mad if I don't get results. But I went down the mindset of, wait a second, that didn't close a sub right away. Wait a second, I didn't get the result right away. It's coming. So I do believe we have to trust and have the faith and know that it's coming. And I have full trust that like the biggest and best leaders are coming into my business, and it feels like it's just all coming in. So trusting the fact that it's going to happen, and just knowing that every scan leads to a conversation. Whether it's recruiting, whether it's assessment, whether it's a sub, you're going to help somebody in some way. So I think that's the biggest thing, is trusting and just asking more questions, having fun. I'm committed to having fun with it. I built most of my business on Facebook. I'm getting uncomfortable going out in person. The three things that I try to do is the pillars of like, okay, can I have a scanning event over here, like set up in the background? Can I get over here on Facebook and Instagram? Can I go over to LinkedIn? Can I go over to TikTok? Any platform that I can be loud on, I am loud. I am like going live. I am posting. I am in my stories. I am talking about it because I'm passionate about it, because I have a story. And so I think the louder we can be, the faster we are going to get it out there. And it really doesn't feel like sales pitching or anything like that, because I'm not coming across as the scientist. I'm coming across with a story and another story and another story. And I am collecting all of that data so that it's up here and in here so that I can share that with people, and people can feel that when I'm talking. So I think that the biggest thing is we're in a time, this device won't work unless you talk to people and you connect and you be present. And so if we can think, okay, we get a finger on here, we get a scan, that leads to a conversation. Okay, we are showing up on social media, that leads to a conversation. We're doing a wellness assessment. We're allowing people to feel good sharing about themselves. People feel the best and they connect the fastest when you ask them questions and you let them talk. And that's the power of this device, is it lets us leads us to those conversations where they can talk.
I love your point. So maybe in summarizing a couple of my takeaways from this, Tori, and I'm sure I've seen a bunch of messages on there, people relating exactly to what you're saying. Alan, the gal's comments, that's exactly what I do, right? People that, but your first point to me that was powerful, you serve, don't sell. All we're really doing is serving, not selling. Number two, building your story. And number three, talking to people. And I love your point about combining. Listen, we know quantitatively, I'm a quant guy, that's my love language is numbers. We know this entire business, every success story in this business starts with conversations. It always starts with conversations. And people that are hesitant to have conversations are going to limit their success, right? Because it starts with the number of conversations. What's beautiful about Prism is it's so unique. It's so demonstrable. It's so like easy for someone 15 seconds to open a conversation, to plant that seed. If you're planting 10 seeds a day, that's 300 seeds a month, right? It's bound to quantitatively in our model, our what we call the funnel, starting with conversations, work to conversions work to purchases, that work to subscriptions, that create brand affiliates, that generate brand reps, and they eventually become leaders. So I think that point of starting with the conversations and not being afraid to talk about it. You don't have to be a doctor. You literally just have to say, do you know your nutritional health, right? I mean, that's it. Put your finger on this and I'll send you a link. That's all that it is. And then learning your way along the way, I think is amazing.
I think so too. And Tori, one of the things that I love that you said that I hope everybody doubles down on is you're taking this time to learn and build your story and to see what's resonating with the way you speak to your people, and you're doing it everywhere. You're not only doing it when you're at the volleyball game. You did it at the volleyball game because someone saw your social media post. It's everywhere. And I just think, I hope everybody here's that, you're living it in every aspect, everywhere where you're and I love, be loud and proud. Like, I love that, Tori. I love it so much to just be out there talking, but developing your own personal story. We know this with 40 years. That's what this business is. It's not regurgitating our science. It's how did this emotionally impact you and your family and your loved ones and those people. And I love that that's where you're starting from, because that's what's going to make it all come for you with your belief in that. And I love that.
Thank you. I do want to add, because I do believe that sometimes we can almost freeze and go into like scared. If there's somebody, if there's been times where I've talked to people and I didn't come, like I wasn't super confident. I thought, oh no, what are they thinking? And just, I remind myself that like, I don't have to know all the answers. I can go find the answers. If they ask me about the studies, we have them. I can go find them, but they don't all have to be up here. And so whenever I get nervous about maybe bringing it up to somebody or something, I just go in and do it scared anyways. And sometimes I flip the conversation of like, hey, I need more practice. Can I scan you just to practice? And then, of course, if I say I need practice, they're going to be like, so what are you scanning? It leads to an easy conversation. And so, again, it's not me having to know all of the answers, asking questions, and coming from a place of, if I'm intimidated, maybe I just like flip it to, can you help me out? Can I practice on you so that I can learn more and learn the right questions to ask? And it will always lead to a great combo.
Good. Well, Tori, thank you so much for being on the call. I know we're up against the top of the hour. Buck McMurray told me, Ryan, do not end this call without a call to action. So this is the call to action for everyone on this call, doing exactly what we just heard from Tori. I would challenge every single person to post between now and next Friday's call. Every single day, post your score and just keep track of how many people either reach out to you through DM or when you bump into them at wherever, your child's soccer game, your church, wherever you're spending time, your supermarket, whatever it is, how many neighbors, friends, family reach out to you. If you post every single day, I bet you're going to be surprised how many people will just naturally, when they see you or when they reach out, just say, what is this? What are you doing? It's an easy thing. So that's my call to action challenge for everyone. Post every single day. See who the reach outs are, and let's just keep going. Next week, we got to wrap this up.
Yes.
Next week, be here, same time, same place. We'll be posting around on the deep dive where we're going next with this. But I wanted to say thank you to all of you. Let's keep going. Beauty Focus Collagen Plus, Prism IO. let's build our beauty spans.
Yep, and you can share this. We'll put the link on our Instagram, and you can share this with anyone who isn't able to join us live. They can watch this to get all of the amazing tips from Tori afterwards. Thanks, you guys.
Thanks. See you next week.